Hey there guys, curdhos from Hostyle Conditioning. It's Thursday, February 2nd, 2012. And as you know, every Thursday is the weekly weigh-in that I'm doing on my road to 275 pounds. Been a big week of training. We had a lot of cool stuff happening over at Hostyle Conditioning. We had a cool open house. Yesterday we had a bunch of people come by and check out our facility and get them signed up for a free week of training. And it was cool. I want to thank the Lassard family, Rick, Karen, and Rachel. They were Hostile ambassadors. They came in a couple hours early for their workout and just hung out and just talked to the people and showed them some of the cool stuff we do and just, told a bit of their story. I want to thank Beth. Beth, say hi.
Hi.
That's Beth over on the side. She's working hard putting something together. She organized a really good open house for us. It was a lot of hard work that went into it, and I really appreciate it. And again, it's just another way for us to try and get people to come in and see what we're all about. That's all we ask. We're different, and come in and see why we're different. So it was good. We'll have more in the future. I look forward to it, and it was a very positive thing. So it's going to be good. Going forward, we're 5 weeks into my challenge, and this is the point where people quite often have a hard time getting past this. A lot of New Year's resolutions fade by now within 2 weeks. I think it's some sort of stat that's out there. I read it on the internet, so it has to be true. And every week you have to keep working it and keep the big goals in mind. This week's weigh-in was a good weigh-in. Take a look here. I was 321.2 last week. I'm down to 320.2, so a loss of 1 pound. Now this is where it can get a little frustrating for people, and there is a leveling off and different things happening because, the type of training we're doing at Hostile Conditioning, there's a lot of conditioning, there's a lot of strength, there's a lot of mobility, there's a lot of cardio, and other things that happen besides burning fat is, you're going to start building a little more lean muscle mass in areas as they develop and they balance out. So it's not always going to be 3, 5, 7 pounds down on the scale. It's not always going to be that much of a net loss in body weight or the gravitational pull on your body. So to go further, I looked at some of the stats on my readout on our Tanita scale, and my body fat went down from 28.5 to 27% in 1 week. So what that means, it's a 1.5% change in body fat. Now, that itself is pretty cool, but let's put it in a little more real numbers for people to equate it. That means I increased my lean muscle mass, all right? The amount of muscle that I'm carrying increased 4.2 pounds. So that's a significant increase. Some people train, for a whole year and hope to gain 5 to 10 pounds with the net effect of all the different training I'm doing between my powerlifting, deadlifting, clean and pressing once a week, and benching, as well as the kettlebell training, the body weight exercises. Not only did my overall body weight went down 1 pound, but the net change was more of like a 5.2 pound swing in overall composition. So that means I dropped a significant amount of body fat, but I also increased a significant amount of lean muscle mass. So if I just lived by the scale only, I'd be sitting there going, wow, that's a lot of work for 1 pound. But when I look at the numbers and I break it down further, I've lost, more than that in fat, and I also gained. So I lost, a good 5 pounds of fat, and I gained 4 pounds of muscle. So on the scale, it's going to show 1 pound, but the difference in composition is over 5 pounds. And again, that's why it's important to work with items other than just the scale. A good body fat impedance scale is good, not the little cheap ones you buy, the handheld ones or the $70 stand-on ones on a Canadian Tire. They're not going to be as accurate. The one I have downstairs that I use for myself and our clients, I spent a couple grand on, so it's going to be more accurate overall. And the other thing too, I'm not always so worried about what the actual reading is so much as that you use the same scale, the same device, the same time of week, so a lot of the conditions are the same, and it's about the change. So if I'm really, set 27% fat, if I'm really 26% fat on another scale, I don't care about that because of the scale that I'm using, I'm looking at the changes, and there's a net change of 1.5% body fat. So no matter what scale I would use, there's a change that's happening, and that's what I want to see, and that's important to have as feedback. So again, if I was just looking at the scale, the gravitational scale, pull on my body weight, not how I'm comprised or what my composition is, how much muscle, how much body fat I have, just how much my mass weighs, I'd be a little disappointed overall, and that's where a lot of people will falter. They'll work really hard, get on the scale, and not see a big change on the scale, and they'll think that nothing's working, they'll get frustrated, and what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to say, screw it, and they're going to binge, or they're going to go back to some older habits, or they're going to say it's not worth it, so they quit working out or stop. So set yourself up to get more information so you can look at the big picture. Another way you can do it is do body measurements, right? I can tell my waist is getting smaller and smaller. I can see more definition through my shoulders and traps and my face, so I know I'm getting leaner without looking at anything else. but having more feedback, more ways to see how I'm changing is very good to keep you motivated, keep you on track, and see that there's other things happening other than just the mass, the weight loss on the scale. So very important that we set ourselves up to see what's really happening in our body so that we don't sit there and have a limited amount of information and then, you know, make some irrational decisions based on that overall. Again, going back to how I feel fantastic, feel better all the time, my energy level is better, getting a lot more done overall, my head's nice and clear. You know, these are all fantastic things that just can't be measured on a scale. So look at the big picture overall. So that being said, like I said, I'm pretty happy about the week overall. Hey, I'm human. I'd like to see 3 and 5 pound changes as well too. But again, the numbers are changing. I just have to look a little deeper into the information to see what's going on. So again, keep the steady state up, keep keeping the diet tight. You know, that's again with a cheat week once a week, enjoying it and stuff. So I got something cool planned hopefully for this Saturday. You know, and just enjoy yourself and reward yourself and get back to the grind and stuff and hit those workouts hard. Again, like we talked about in our open house, we had a lot of people come in to check things out and sign up for a free week of training, and that's something I extend to anyone watching our videos out there that lives in the local area. You know, if you're interested and you think this might be something you want to look at, come in and see myself or Beth. Hey Beth, say hi again, Beth.
Hi.
That's Beth. She's still working hard over there, putting a chair together. She's awesome. You know, come in, fill out a form, sign up for a week, no obligation, we're not signing to any contract, whatever. Come train with us for a week, see what we're all about. We get to see what you're all about. And then, you know, see the difference in the training, the variety of training, and just working in a good group with some good coaching. It's going to make a world of difference in your training. It's going to open things up for you and give you a chance to see things can be a lot more productive in a short amount of time. So anyhow, that's all I have for this week. I just want to say thanks. And again, curdhos from Hostyle saying crush it.